Testing.
Okay.
Testing.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay, we should be back now. So, yeah, we're here with the finals of the Overwatch International Community Cup between Germany and Russia. And I think they're actually ready to go to the game. So we're going to talk about this as we enter the game.
Yeah.
This should be a really close game. Germany coming from the losers bracket, getting a comeback to Canada, putting on a really good performance, and Russia's just been good all game. Not all game, all of this cup.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're hoping to see, but yeah, like you said, obviously when the sound is muted, Russia have basically barely dropped any maps ever in this tournament. And Germany, they've dropped a few. They lost to Canada and then beat Canada. So they're kind of reinvigorated coming into this. But remember, they have to win twice, right? They have to win 2 of these series if they want to win this. Whereas Russia, they've only got 1.
Yeah, Russia having the advantage here. And this, it's not that the picks here we see are probably a bit, actually the Bastion. But this Roadhog, this Zarya, this Winston, Zarya, is kind of what you've been seeing on the rank ladder lately with all these nurses shields. That's just so much better. And I think this Bastion is just a spawn pick.
I wouldn't expect them to run it, genuinely. I would congratulate them if they did, but I genuinely don't think they will. Obviously in red we've got, I believe that's the Russians, and then in blue the Germans. So, yeah, it's looking like far on both teams here. That's something that I think is people are going towards. As you know, the mobility was increased recently, so I think that's just something people are comfort picking here. As they're both going to have Mercies pocketing them, so it's going to be a far matchup here. And high ground control will be taken here by the Russian side right now, as Yaku does get taken out by Sloth here, and PhDale. Sloth just popping off right on the opening here. Skyhawk trying to flank around, get a pick off a Sloth got antidote, but everyone's going to be staying alive here for the Russians as the Germans just get cleansed up here.
Yeah, Sloth was just getting so much damage in there with this Pharah. They were getting the angles. Oasis being quite a good Pharah map because you have these buildings in the high ground here, especially on city center. It's just easy ground to take, and you can just hide behind the buildings. But coming into this, we're seeing this Winston just get on top of the supports of Germany, and that's when this Winston's a bit better than this Roadhog. This Roadhog being a bit more frontline pressure, where Winston gonna put it to the back.
Yeah, this Hog is basically just an ult battery for both of the DPS on the Russian side right now, as Arasario overextending immediately. Fallen Sleep actually gets taken out by his Eagle here, so this is one of the sort of advantages of having the Widow. It's just a one-shot kill potential, and now there's just so much pressure being placed onto the Germans here, and they can't really engage because of the choke pressure. And now the engage comes through from Portos, just trying to zone everyone back ever so slightly. His sights are popped here by Zeagle. PhDale's trying to go around the side and maybe potentially help out the Fari here as Zeagle gets taken out. PhDale to trade it out though, and Sloth again just getting these opening picks. Mirka also popping off, trying to get Yakio here as the res comes through onto Zeagle. So all 6 members of the Russians up right now. The Hog is going to try and find something here with the Nano, but no one is going to die to that Hog whatsoever. And ultimates are being invested here. Skyhawk tried to use that whole Hog to maybe get a clutch pick off, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, the Zarya play from Russia right now is just being really good. Daddy Pig, actually. Just bubbling whenever they needed. Skyhawk was trying to get hooks off onto with the Winston for Russia, but the bubbles came through, so the hook didn't get in. That's really important in this Hog meta to have these bubbles. And ultimates were used not so well there from Germany.
Yeah, indeed. There was a wasted ultimate there from Skyhawk, so they'll be trying to, you know, at least atone for that, slightly taken out in here. And I mean, now Arasario is just going to have to try and frontline a little bit, you know, make a bit of space. Eagle does get taken out by Yaku, and the res comes through onto Skyhawk, so this is looking like a good fight for the Germans. Eagle, though, gets rezzed up, so it's still a 6v6 fight right now as Mirka gets taken out, but Bush gets follow it. Both healers down here for the Russians. And Fallen Sleep finds 3 as well as Yaku, using that barrage to try and clutch this up, and it does seem as if finally the Germans will be in control here.
Yeah, Daddy Pig getting actually 30% of his ultimate there. Russia actually having the ultimate advantage here. They've got the Infrasites were just such a powerful ultimate, getting knowledge of everyone, especially at this high level that we're going to be seeing, is such an advantage. And we have the Primal Rage, which is kind of used to save yourself a bit. It's not really the best ult, but it's the ult advantage.
Yeah, like you just highlighted, it is just a complete ult advantage here for the side of the Russians. And instantly though, Portos getting taken out here by Skyhawk, so that Hog pulling through ever so slightly. And I think this will just be a disengage, 2 players down. It's your entire tank line. You really don't want to go in here if you're the Russians.
No, you don't. Especially now when you've got this D.Va from Germany. It just applies pressure to the Pharah, just making them not be able to do so much, with Defense Matrix just able to absorb all of the damage. It's a bit of a yikes. I was a bit questioning this D.Va staying on D.Va. It looked like a contest pick, but it's working for them right now.
Yeah, indeed. I think it's just that, you know, being able to deal with a Pharah Matrix that and at least get some choke pressure. As talking about choke pressure, Skyhawk pops his whole hog, just completely, you know, like destroying the enemy tank line. But Mirka does get traded out onto here as Skyhawk goes down, and so does Daddy Pig. So this is looking like a very lost fight right now for the Russians, and just like that, the Germans bring it back to pretty much last fight territory. Although Sloth actually finding 2 here. What am I talking about? This looks like a very good fight win here for the Russians. Sloth actually finding 3 members there and looking to clean up onto the 4th and 5th right now as Portos hooks. I believe that's Kaijeo back in there and manages to help get that pick. And that was a complete clutch I did not see coming right now as the Valk was popped, but I don't think it's going to matter. Skyhawk gets taken out here. The Bob will contest just for a little while longer, but just slightly off of the point right now as the grab is just going to be used to clean up the bomb. I don't think that's going to find too much here, although it does find 2 members, and this could be the clutch that they need. Germans looking very good here, and the barrage as well from Yeku finding 2. This is just, it's gone completely wrong for the Russians. They got a full sense of security from winning that team fight, and then they came back and just lost it.
Yeah, that bit of a confusing fight actually. At one point, the Russians were running it. I'm very confused. We had Sloth absolutely pop off. We thought they were going to cap it when all hope was lost. And then a Rasaria from Germany just comes in, D.Va bombs, and just kills 2. And then the fight goes back to their favor. It was just all a bit confusing. We do see the dominance of that D.Va pick actually there coming through. The mobility just to get back to point to actually get that out of. If he was Zarya, I don't think they would have got there in time, and you wouldn't get the same value of just an instant kill as there was. But we do have a bit of a compositional switch. Oh no, the Lucio's gone. I was hoping for some Lucio.
Yeah, I was hoping to as well, but it's just a shield break composition. I'm not sure why they're running a shield break composition here on the Russian side. I don't think the Hanzo is a very good pick here, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeku getting taken down pretty fast here. The res will have to come through. The Hawk gets blocked by both from Portos, so it's just looking like pretty even right now, but Fallen Sleep does manage to turn the tides in their favor with that kill onto Mirka. Fallen Sleep goes down as well here, so it's looking pretty even. No one really has any sort of pressure onto the point right now. Portos, Daddy Pig just trying to play this corner. The hook comes through, doesn't quite find anything though from Portos as the anti comes through and Portos gets cleaned up onto. And this is looking good for the Germans right now. They can push forward a little bit, but Keiju gets taken down and so does Arasaria. That was a very quick pop from Sloth to turn this around, just get a bit more point pressure. And the Russians take the first fight.
That was Bob. I actually wasn't even prepared for it. I thought the Germans had it, and then Sloth chucks in the Bob, like 40 seconds in. That's insane. Must be putting so much damage out. I'm wondering why Hanzo's coming up from both teams, to be honest. I'm not too sure why. Both teams
yeah, it does really make you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, the Hanzo pick, sure, it deals a lot of damage, but I just don't think they can gain the positioning they want. Talking about positioning, though, everyone on the high ground right now, still, though, Portos gets dislodged. So does everyone else. That whole hog was very good to just get everyone off that high ground. Bob comes through from Fallen Sleep to try and get some picks, and Baboshka goes down because of it. Skyhawk and Kaijeo, though, getting taken out. Zeagle and Daddy Pig looking very good here. Although the Bob just popping off, getting a couple picks there. Skyhawk also helping clean up. Sloth, though, clutching it up, just barely dying at the end of it.
Yeah, Bob really being the MVP today. Bob captured the point for Russia. Now Bob's capping the point for Germany. But yeah, these Ashe plays, Ashe being so dominant now currently in the meta, just Your Dynamite, you get so much damage. If you have a Mercy, you can get a one-shot headshot. It's like a Widow, but it can apply a bit more pressure with and control a bit more space with the Dynamite.
Indeed, I mean, we were talking before about snipers being meta here, and damn right they are, but Skyhawk is the one that's popping off in this fight, finding 3 just going completely wild in the backline right now. And I mean, there's nothing the Russians can do. When a Hog's in your backline like that, you really can't just pressure him out.
I mean, what a beautiful anti-nade there from KJ on the side of Germany. Just chucking out, getting a 4 bio nade in the grab. And then the Dragon, there was not a chance any of them got out of alive there.
Yeah, indeed, but Sloth finding the opening pick onto Yaku here, so hopefully it might be a retake coming through as Portos will take a rotation through to the high ground. Bubble helps him stay alive just a little bit longer as the grab comes through from Daddy Pig and the Dragon too to try and clean up onto it, but no one was really killed there. Full-Insip and Portos get traded out onto here, and it's looking like a very even fight. Daddy Pig though getting taken out by Arisaria, their counterpart in the Zarya. Skyhawk also helps clean up. PHDL though getting taken out by Sloth, and it's always Sloth getting these, you know, last minute picks, but they're never when it really counts. Although, point is flipped over on the Russian side right now, and they might actually want to try and win this fight as they're committing ultimates. The Bob here is going to be just pressuring the Hog, but I mean, it basically tickles for the Hog.
Yeah, the Hog being able to just get the damage reduction as well as the 300 healing from the Take a Breather that the Hog has is just Bob's just shooting at him, not really doing too much, kind of just giving him a massage, let's say. And especially the Ana over the Moira being quite dominant, getting the sleep off onto Portos, he couldn't contest. It's just KJ putting such a good performance here with his anti-nades and his sleeps. It's just really good for him right now.
Yeah, indeed, and the hook comes through from Portos with the bubbles right there for Arisaria to help him out. Although 3 picks here coming through for the Russian side, and I mean, they just came through in a flash. There's nothing you can really do if you're Germany. I think they just wanted to sort of save their ultimates for the next fight and not really have to commit.
Yeah, target prioritization was really good. Killing off the Ana, who does have the nano boost, is just really smart killing them first, because once your Ana's gone, that's your main like healing, like direct healing. Mercy you have to swap between damage boost and healing everyone. Ana just reliable, and that's gone. You can't really rely on anything.
Yeah, indeed, and Arisaria solo grabbing Portos, but Portos is just so tanky, able to stay alive here. PHDale and Zeagle just popping the hell off right now, finding 3 picks, but Kaijio, Arisaria are trying to turn it back right now. Zeagle also finding a pick onto the enemy Ashe, and the Bob is on point right now. There's a duel of Bobs per second there, is now just me pressuring out Arisaria. Arisaria is getting really low here, actually, and I think that should be the target that gets cleaned up quickly here. Skyhawk also getting pressure down very low. As you mentioned before, though, the Take a Breather is just going to keep him alive for a little while longer as the Yaku gets taken down by Sloth, so it's looking very even right now. As another grab comes through here, and Skyhawk is going to be getting pressure down pretty low. The whole Hog just pushes people away for just about a second before getting melted by Zeagle there, and Mirka manages to come onto Lucio and get a pick onto Arisaria, so again, it's still looking even. Zeagle getting taken out here, but the res just makes it that's just the icing on the cake. I didn't expect the Russians to win that one, not gonna lie.
I didn't either, but here we are going to a round 3. This being really close now, actually the 199 on that map.
It was on both maps, wasn't it? So it's looking great.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth all of this map so far. So if that's an indicator for how the series is going, that's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good close game. But I am a bit intrigued. We're going a bit back. We're having this Ryan Reaper. Reminds me a bit of the start of the year, actually. That's kind of yeah. This is reminding very much of the start of the year.
No, this is the exact meta composition from back like February, March, that kind of time, where you would see this brawl composition just be completely dominant. And I mean, they're running it here on a map where there are a lot of tight corners, so you can get value out of it. And they're just going to take precedence in the little mini room right now. No one's really going to want to challenge them. Just going to be trying to pressure them out as Wall comes through onto Mirka, and that was pristine on the side of the Germans there, and Daddy Pig also gets cleaned up onto there. And this is just looking amazing. So surgical, so clean. The cleanup will be there, the point control as well, and everyone's just getting pressured out for the Russians.
Yeah, this May pick coming out. I know you definitely love seeing some May.
Oh yeah, dude.
um, I do love seeing May play in these kind of competitive high-level scenes. It's just something clean to it. I hate seeing it in my ranked games, but I do love watching it because you could just split up a whole team and it just completely changes the landscape of the map. Um, it's just so strong. May's never really going to be useless when you have that ability just to cut a team apart.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. That is just a very powerful ability as a whole. And the flanking McCree actually trying to find something here, and the boop off comes through from PhDale, and it is so good right now. Skyhook goes for the charge in, the counter charge from Portos, trying to keep himself alive, but really cannot do it. The Sloth will get obviously cleaned up here, and I mean, there's no way with this Hog, well, not the Hog anymore, but was the Hog, and now the Rhino found a Shatter. There's no way for them to get in here at all.
Yeah, and Russia have adapted. They've tried to beat Germany at what they're currently doing, and that's not successful for them yet. I think they're going to have to get some of these ultimates online for it to be successful, get this Blizzard from Russia. But Germany's just going to have all these ultimates defend. You see Skyhawk here hiding. I think he's going to try and get a sneaky shatter off. We love to see those.
Yeah, they'll
But-
probably see him on that. Oh, Portos gets slammed up here. The Nana comes through into Skyhook, but the sleep is so good. The Coalescence Slow wakes him up as the pin comes through into Skyhook, trying to take him out just a little bit lower here. They do manage to find that pick, so what was going to be a good play there, because of the sleep from Vugoshka, just turned into a very bad play. And it was basically just feeding from Skyhawk.
Yeah, they're just cleaning up the point here. They're gonna try. The Ana's gonna try and get out here. They may, unless we see some headshots from them, may come out. No, they're fine. But we're seeing some really good performance from the supports here this game. Both Annas have been doing really well all game. KGO is hitting all the anti-nades and sleeps, and now Babuska's like, you know what? It's my turn. I need to get some of these sleeps in. I need to get some of this, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, indeed, the High Noon gets popped here from Fallen Sleep, but the wall is there to be able to prevent it. They're going to try and break it and get something with a High Noon, but Arasari gets taken out in return, and now the Nano comes around to Portos. Just gets left up by Kaijia, but woken up again. Seems like a lot of Slap players are getting woken up today. As Eagle manages to find 2 in that fight, and yeah, it's just a clean up.
And this defense is looking very good for Russia right now. They've got the Bob, and they've got the Blizzard to hold down points. All of these, or apart from maybe the Grav not being so much zoning, but the Blizzard being able to zone the whole team, and the Bob just being able to pressure like an area. It's really good for a defense.
Indeed, but Portos gets solo grabbed up right now, but still doesn't die. The healing is just so insane. Both males coming through and a beat from the side of the Germans. The grab comes through from, I believe that was Daddy Pig to try and turn this around, but Fallen Sleep coming up with 2. Sloth and Portos slow, trying to bring him back to that team. Not going to lose this just yet as a pin comes through into Portos, takes him out. Arasaria pinning onto America here, and unless there's a stall coming through, this looks pretty one here for Germany.
Yeah, Zeagle trying to get that just a bit more percent, but we do see...
Oh, the predictive shatter attempt there for Skyhawk gets completely nullified there as now the stall comes through from Daddy Pig. The High Noon though might be able to take someone out here, and it will take out Daddy Pig. The slam from Portos found literally nothing. As Arasari just pressures out the backline flankers on the point, and Fallen Sleep coming in with 3, so clutching up right now for the German side, and there's no way anyone is going to be clutching up for the Russians. Map 1, just like that, is taken by the Germans.
Yeah, we saw Germany bring back this. They were the one who you first used the comp. They, you know what, we need to win. So they adjusted and they won the fight. They pulled off good ultimate cohesion, and the synergies. And I think this Wrecking Ball, he should know to just, when that High Noon comes out, you need to be weaving in and out of view. You can't just be pile driving right in the face of a High Noon McCree. And Germany just take map 1.
Yeah, that was just amazing from Germany there, that round where the May was so surgical, and that's where, Kaiju as well could really just shine with those anti-nades, with the sleeps, even though some of them got woken up, it was still some very pristine Ana play, and that last fight there, I thought that the Russians might have won that, purely based on how Portos just stayed alive through everything that was thrown at him, but still the Germans managed to just come back into it. And I mean, it was just looking so good for them. There was no way they were being sort of contested, or there was no times where they really seemed like they were being pressured at all.
Yeah, and going on to, I think next match is hybrid. We could see some more of these brawl comps depending on the map pick. If we see King's Row, which is personally one of my favorite maps, I know everyone likes it, but we see
Especially
King's
May
Row.
mains.
Maymaids do love King's Row. We may see more of that Reinhardt, which was quite successful for them. And yes, I want to see Reinhardt. I'm not a fan of the Hogs Zarya meta personally, but
And it might actually
yeah,
benefit the teams too, because the Hog Zarya sort of composition is very scrappy, and a lot of those last fights on the first couple of rounds of Oasis, the Hog Zarya was just being scrappy. There was bubbles being thrown out onto the Hogs, like whenever they got hooked in. The hooks sometimes weren't landing, which meant like the fight was a lot slower than you expect it to be. And both of these teams know how to play into Hog Zarya, and they know how to play Hog Zarya. So it ends up being this sort of very long, scrappy, pick-based fight in a sort of stalemate situation where you're just waiting on your DPS to do something because the Hog and the Zarya are just like negating each other out.
yeah, they're just kind of existing, not really doing anything. Because of course the Hog heal, you've got the bubble taking a 200 damage. It's you just not a lot happens. You just have to wait for your DPS to kill all your players, so the Ana can hit an anti-nade onto the Hog, and then they just die. That's kind of what happens now. I think these teams do prefer the previous meta compositions of Reinhardt, as we saw there. And yeah, hopefully we get to see this depending on the map pick that comes through. We don't know what that is yet.
Yeah.
But
It's going to be the Russians picking it. Germans pick side because they're the winners, and then the Russians the losers of that round. And then obviously it's going to be a hybrid map. So, like I said, King's Row could be a potential pick. Blizzard World, stuff like that. Eichenwald even. Just naming some very good Hog Zarya maps. Even some Rhine Zarya maps. So, generally the off tank overall is going to be Zarya, I think.
yeah, Zarya just being so good right now with a lot of the Ana play, just being able to cleanse. There's not really any cleanse abilities in the game that you can apply to someone, and well, none actually. But yeah, that cleanse, just being able to get rid of the like the anti-nade effect. You can't get hooked. You can't. It's just you can't do anything.
Okay. Here is where it gets interesting. Okay, here's the deal. Nova is now in the game, right? Well, we're assuming anyway, because Nova's on spectator, and the other DPS
Ooh.
for Russia just got subbed out. So what I'm expecting to see here is Nova coming in and playing this Junkrat that I was talking about before. Because the last time I saw Nova on Junkrat, he popped hard. So I'm hoping to see Nova and Junkrat here, especially on a map like King's Row, where, Junkrat, close quarters, it could work.
Okay, yeah, Nova's come in. What map do I watch? Yeah, Nova coming in. If he plays Junkrat, that should be really interesting. Junkrat getting a bit of resurgence lately, as he should with the shields gone. And yep, King's Row. Here we are.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so this is where Nova dominated against Leia a few weeks back. He was looking extremely good, actually, with just some very good 3K tires, 4K tires, just general domination in the backline. And I think Germans will have prepared for this, knowing they're up against the Russians. I think they'll have prepared for Nova's Junkrat. They'll be checking their corners, checking literally every flank angle you can get, and making sure that Nova can't pop.
Yeah. And we're loading into the map now. We are entering onto King's Row. I wonder what we're going to see. We could see some Winston. We could see some Reinhardt. We don't know. Definitely some Widow play. I'm expecting to see some form of Widow on this map. Just of course because of the spawn doors, of course, and have this map having some long range. But this is a map where you can see in the current meta, probably more of the support Lucio or the Brig, because people play Rush or Brawl comps. It's just that Lucio or the Brig, just having the whole team sustain and the speed is just so good for engaging and getting out and just healing in general. You don't have to worry so much about specific targets. You can
Yeah.
just heal everyone.
It gets you past the choke as well, right? Which on a map like this is very crucial. You want to get past the choke, you want to get up close. Or if you're potentially, like, Portos is teasing the Winston here, if you're potentially playing that dive, it just gets your players into position. But Mirka is actually going to... Okay, no, Mirka's on the Lucio. So
I was
baited into
hoping for
thinking
some
they were
break.
Brig. Yeah, I
was
mean,
hoping for break. As a Brig
the
main.
Brig could work, but it will be a Ryan Zarya with the Honor Lucio, but it's going to be Widow Junkrat, so nothing really... like, there's no Mei, there's no McCree, no Reaper, nothing really close range. It's more just long range spam, you know, controlling angles, which I completely like here. I think that it's Nova's forte, and Skyhook instantly just going extremely low as well as Arasaria here, just getting, you know, pressured out behind this statue, and they're still choosing to go aggressive, and they completely pay the price for it. Kaijo goes down to Nova in the backline, and so does Yakyu, and this is just being a complete tragedy here for the Germans, getting pressured out pretty much immediately by the spam from Nova.
Yeah, them subbing in Nova here being really good. You did tell me before we come into the series to watch out for Nova's Junkrat, and I think we're here seeing how good it really is. Not forgetting, of course, Baboska's Ana right now, keeping the whole team alive. They were just sitting behind while Porto was taking all that damage. Baboska was like, you know what, you're not dying on my watch. And that's what happened.
Arasaria on the flank, managing to take out Zeagle there, so that's the sky pressure gone. So there's gonna be no real long range picks coming through here, and now the aggression's being put on by Sky, completely battering into Portos. As Portos drops back to the payload, just tries to regenerate some HP as Arasaria goes extremely low here. I believe that was Nova, who contributed mostly to that pick, and now without the mech there, without the, you know, negation of the spam, I think that Portos can go in right now as Sam comes through, manages to find 3 here, but Nova clutching up, managing to find Yakyu and Kaiju. Similarly to last time, those are the first 2 to go down, and Skyhawk will follow up very soon.
Really good shadow from Skyhawk, but you just couldn't get any follow-up because Nova had that tire. I just killed 2, and that's all you need, really. You can't really engage into a fight when you're 2 down, and the D.Va here gets picked off. I don't believe they got their mech back, and they just couldn't contribute. That's the issue with D.Va. When you're D-mech, you're not doing nothing.
Yeah, I think that the D.Va getting picked off first there as well was just bad. Because the Matrix, right? You need the Matrix to be able to deal with this Junkrat. Or you need to mirror the Junkrat of your own, but that just didn't happen right now. So Hainu comes through from Fallen Sleep, trying to find something. It does find Nova, and that's a key pick they needed. But the slam comes through from Portos, managing to find 3 members, but it doesn't quite get followed up onto here. Zeagle, though, taking out Yakyu, and PHDL goes down as well. But is Boschke going down, so a lot less healing here available for Portos, as Portos is pretty much half HP, just getting battered into here by Skyhawk. And I think it'll be the disengage for the Russians. That being said, though, Skyhawk goes extremely low as Arasaria gets D-Max as well. And this is being completely turned around here. The Russians should have been going back, but the Germans just get it completely turned around onto them. And now they're on their back foot.
Yeah, Porto's shatter, knocking 3, and then Daddy Pig just cleaning up the people who were just lying on the floor. Just getting them this point. But the Bob gets used here. And yeah. Ooh.
Oh, what a big fire strike coming from Skyhawk. That was huge to clean up that fight. I mean, the Russians, I thought they'd win that fight. While you were talking, it was just a complete stalemate. No one's really doing anything. And then a big fire strike from Skyhawk, that was massive.
Yeah, the Nano Boost Fire Strike, making that do 150 damage to people who have taken damage. They're just not going to be there anymore. It's almost as good as the Baptiste Fire Strike. The Baptiste Amplification Matrix with a Fire Strike. Not as much damage, but it does the job.
Yeah, if there's a bunch of low targets, it'll definitely get him even lower, but Kaiju goes down for coming up clutch with that kill. Well, Baboschke gets straight out onto here, so no healing available for both sides right now as Portos and Daddy Pig get taken out by Fallen Sleep here, so that's pretty good. I think the, the Germans are relying heavily on Fallen Sleep to get some of these opening picks.
Yeah, we're seeing this D.Va actually be quite good for the Junkrat. The defense matrix, of course, being quite good against these Junkrat and the Pharah that they've been playing from Russia. Just because of how much damage it does, and all of that just goes. That's Junkrat and Pharah do not provide too much utility except their damage. So other heroes do provide a bit more use. And when you have the D.Va, they just remove the use of them.
Yeah, indeed, and Fallen Sleep, with the help of Arasteria, does take out Nova there, so that's going to be the big pick. But it's a 4K slam coming through here, and Skyhook gets taken out because of it. So Zeagle, you know, might come up big here right now as the grab comes through as well, trying to at least follow up onto something here. And Yeku does get taken out by a fire strike from Portos, and now this angle is being played by Zeagle, and it is so good right now. Far range angle, but Araseria gets nanoed up here as Zeagle does get dislodged from that location by Fallen Sleep, and the tire from Nova finds 2 again, so that's just massive. Now Fallen Sleep and PHDL are out of the fight, and Kaiju as well. I mean, this slam might be all for naught here as Skyhook doesn't really have any follow-up available onto it, just a baby D.Va there. Both of them get taken out very swiftly and dispatched.
Yeah, Skyhook being a bit too ambitious there. Their team wasn't there, so he couldn't kill them. There was a bit of a waste of that shatter, if I'm honest. And they don't really have what they need to come into this. They only have the Hanzo Dragon, which is a bit of a zoning ult, unless you do stand in it, and you don't have the grab because you have a D.Va. It's just, I don't know why we're playing Hanzo. Oh,
yeah, indeed, and he gets stunned out of the dragon there. Now it's Araseria that has a big whiff the bomb. Doesn't quite find anything though as Portos cleans up onto PHDale, and this is just a very swift fight here that the Russians are going to want to push up on.
yeah, D.Va just killing the Baptiste, but they don't have the frontline pressure to contest this payload, so it just moves along. Ooh.
Oh, and a massive slam coming through there. And that is massive. I mean, I love that so much. Just putting on the aggression, making sure there's follow-up available. And now it's just going to be the Germans on their back for it right now. This is looking like a very good time bank here for the Russians, and no one's there to contest.
Yep. And we just see the lack of the frontline pressure there, really. They're just knocked to the floor. That's where the frontline pressure was gone, on the floor. And we see a 140 time coming out, being quite good, actually. At least it's over a minute. So that means that if Germany do get it to the end with no time, it's either a draw on this map or a win for Russia. So Russia have set a win condition here for them. And yeah, this is looking good for them. They're Nova playing this Junkrat is looking really good for them, killing their Hanzo during the dragon.
Yeah, that I think they lucked out on that, honestly. I don't think that was intentional. But I mean, they killed Yakio during the dragon, so it worked out pretty well for them. And I think that was one of the turning points. If that dragon had been there, it would have zoned Portos back, prevented some aggression. And despite the 2 picks that came through, the dragon would have just bought enough time for, you know, Arasteria to be able to pop off a little bit more, get back in that mech, and then just, you know, try and buy some time for the dead members to get back. And I think that in that entire team fight, it just came down to, you know, individual plays overall from the Russians.
Yeah, as we said, that Hanzo, I don't think it would have done too much. It would have zoned them, but I think players just don't walk into that at this level. If you've reached the finals, you won't be walking Dragon, especially when there's no grab to force you in it. And we see a Sombra come out here. I'm quite intrigued to see.
Yeah, I think they're trying to maybe like hack Portos in the front line to prevent the aggression coming through, because Portos is playing so aggressive in the front line right now, and he's doing it right now. The pressure comes onto Skyhook, and both shields going down extremely low. The Sombra on the high ground just peppering that shield too, just, you know, contributing in any way she can. And now it's going to be Portos on the back foot, has to play around this corner for a little while, give a bit of point control, but Yeku gets taken out here, and the hack actually gets interrupted there for the Sombra, so no available hack, and now PHDL getting taken out as well, no aggression available. And Skyhook just goes for the Hail Mary pin, doesn't quite happen though as Nova cleans up the fight in usual fashion.
Yeah, Daddy Pig actually just constantly checking for this Sombra, bubbling the Reinhardt while the hack animation was going on. Just cancelling that. And Daddy, you gotta be checking for Sombra. And that is what they're doing. They're kind of stopping the hacks from getting value. They did hack the Merca at the start of the fight, and they just kind of backed off. They knew we shouldn't take this until the Lucio effects are gone.
Yeah, indeed, and I mean, the Nano coming towards the Skyhawk is just so massive. The tower gets broken from Nova here as well, and I mean, everything that could have gone wrong, it just went wrong there. I mean, the Russians, their ultimates got negated, the Nano from Skyhawk just put on so much aggression, Portos couldn't do anything, and I mean, that is just, like, a perfect fight for the Germans, except for Arasari going down.
Yeah, that was a great Nano boost coming in. Just be able to provide so much pressure with a Nano Ryan charming at you. You kind of have to be very cautious because a Ryan swing doing 75, that boosted, and Fire Strike boost, and Pin boost.
Yeah.
It's just basically a one-shot for anyone. But
Skyhawk getting trapped up here. That's a very nice trap from Nova. Able to just root them in place ever so slightly, and now the BAP uses the amplification matrix and the Fire Strike misses there from Portos, so a bit of an unlucky situation there. As Fallen Sleep gets taken out in the backline by Nova, so this is going to be where, you know, Portos might be able to put on a bit of aggression knowing that the hack isn't available, but another Nano onto Skyhawk here, just going to put some pressure on. Portos gets taken out because of the shield being down, and PHDL, even though it gets traded out onto here, I think the Germans have been doing very good here, and Arasaria eats the Graviton from Daddy Pig, and that is huge. Also, our producer is telling you to check your DMs, KSA.
Okay,
I'll fill in. So basically, yeah, that fight was just, oh god, the Gravi came through and that could have clutched up the fight. I mean, it wouldn't have been much follow up, but I think it could have gotten a couple picks and maybe given a bit of an advantage into this next fight for Tyler Rook.
yeah. Oh, oof. Everything's just not going right.
Yeah, America getting taken out here. Nova's gonna try and clutch up with the tire, just, you know, baiting it for a little while. As the dragon comes through and that creates a diversion. Manages to find Skyhawk. And that is gonna be huge. I think that now Arasaria can't really frontline solo, so, you know, they're just gonna go back a little bit. Although the EMP bomb comes through as Portos gets taken out here, and this might actually be turnable for the Germans right now. Ziegel also gets taken out. And now the B, maybe to try and turn this around right now as Daddy Pig is fully charged, probably going to farm the Diva for a little bit of ultimate charge. The Slammer comes through, though, manages to find two. The Immortality Field is going to be there, though, to be able to keep them alive a little while longer, but Merca just gets completely destroyed in the backline by Arasaria. Skyhawk goes pulling up onto it, and even though the Slam comes through from Portos, I don't think it's going to be, you know, a clutch, really.
Yeah, I'm very much questioning Russia's ultimate usage here. Ever since they used that grab with the Diva 8, when the Zarya was the only one there, and they decided to use the grab, I'm just a bit confused. We have a Ryan Shatter when he's the only one there. We have a grab when they're the only one there. It's just, they probably don't have the communication. Ooh, the Sombra here gets trapped.
Yeah, the Sombra getting trapped, though, does manage to stay alive right now. I mean, we're looking towards Nova in this fight to clutch up with the tire right now. Arasaria going relatively low as now the Amplification Matrix is going to provide a little bit more pressure, but Skyhawks wants to just push up onto this, make sure that it's not getting much value. Portos gets hacked up, and the Immortality Field was there to save him, but that's a key resource out the fight right now, as the EQ has that High Noon available now, and tries to get something with it, doesn't quite kill anyone, but Nova gets taken out. Skyhawk to trade it, though, as Portos antied up, taken out. Arasaria and Fallen Sleep get taken out as well, and the Grab Dragon might be able to clutch this up very nicely. That's big from Ziegel.
Yeah, they'll just be able to clean it up there with that Grab Dragon combo, just so they can kind of stabilize a bit. I think it was worth it. They do have this tire coming in, which we have seen get kills and good point control with the picks they get from this. And I think he may get spotted here by this Lucio.
Yeah, maybe, but Nova, I mean, he's going to be trying to clutch up with it now. The aggression comes through and it's massive. Managing to find 3 members, and that is just, oh, it's absolutely massive. Also, I have a question. Did my mic cut out, like, when I shouted?
Yep, it did.
Okay, I
so
know it is now.
That's why I said massive tire, because you gotta cut out.
Yeah, it's probably noise suppression. It's probably Discord being stupid. Anyway, yeah,
okay.
that was a very good tire, though.
Yeah, that was a beautiful tire, and he's actually got already half of his tire back now. So he's gonna have it very soon. Merca nearly having this beat online. This could be very good defense here.
Yeah, I think I mean, there's no ultimates really available here other than the beat and the shatter, but I think that's all you really need here. The EMP bomb could come through here, but I don't think it'll get much. I think that these players are too smart for that. Portos now trying to, you know, pummel Skyhawk in the front line right now, so EMP bomb comes through. Doesn't quite find anything though, as the normal picks are there. that I think gets taken up by Yeku as well, and Yeku popped off in that last fight. Deagle, though, managing to find a pick onto Fallen Sleep, so this could be the turning point for the clutch. Babushka, though, gets pinned out of the way right now as the ball comes through, manages to slam in, trying to create a little bit of disruption, trying to, boot people off the map, but I don't think it's going to happen. Portos gets slammed up here, and now it's a full dive swap coming through just for the stall, and the tire here from Nova just gets stunned out. I believe that was by the pin. And Zeagle manages to find 2 with the Dragon, so this could be a massive clutch here coming through for the Russians. Skyhook gets taken out as well, and oh, Zeagle, those picks were just so crucial and at the right time as well.
Yeah, we see the stall picks coming in with the Bull and the Winston just be able to contest that point and allow for Zeagle just to kill everyone. He kind of chill back, sit back, and just shoot everyone. The amplification, I can't talk. Amplification matrix, just keeping the tanks alive, just so they can have some control that point from Babushka was really huge. And we now actually are under the minute mark, so any of this time gain, if they do get to the end, will be gained right now for
Yeah,
Russia.
indeed. The Dragon comes through here from Yaku, trying to find something, because Nano wants a Skyhook as well, but it's just not finding anything. Well, the boop from the Doomfist comes through, and that is going to be massive. Nova now getting taken out as well, so there's not much clutch potential in the fight. Skyhook, though, getting traded out. This could be winnable, but with Yaku popping off this hard, I don't think it's going to happen. 5 of the picks that have happened in this fight have just been from the DPS, and that right there, I mean, the time bank isn't great, but the Germans finished it, and that's what matters.
Yeah, Germany got it to the end with about 10 seconds or so. The ball just not getting there. Just to... I can't English today, sorry. The ball just couldn't get there in time and couldn't get the contest off. And probably if the ball got there, they'd probably have no time. If ball just being able to control that down and be there long enough so that the supports can get back, the Winston can get in. And yeah, I think Porto swapped off the ball that he was on to go to the back to the Reinhardt because they had won the fight. I feel he should have stayed on the bull because of he had generated, I think, about 60% of his ultimate. That minefield controlling the space, especially when you don't have a Winston from Germany, could have been what it had take to just close off that point and maybe get them to 0-0.
Yeah, maybe. I think I found a solution for the lagging out of the microphone. But the issue is, it's gonna be quieter now, so our producer might want to turn me up a little bit. Don't know if you in chat, like everyone in chat, can hear me or not. But anyway, yeah, this is like you were saying there. I think the swap off of the ball just wasn't great. I think they needed to stay on the ball and stall out a little bit longer. But now the defense is going to be a lot stronger because obviously Nova can play this Junkrat and have a lot more choke pressure than you would on attack. And despite that low, very easy choke push there for Germany, but oh, the trap and the mine. That is amazing from Pete. Oh, and another one from Nova too.
My God.
And this is great. These picks like this are just gonna make it these are what make it difficult to get through this choke. You have to be looking out, be on your alert, make sure you're checking for these mines, these traps. And some of them are obviously placed, but that's when people usually overlook them. And now 25 seconds available here for the Germans, and they have to try and get through the choke. Arasaria uses these bubbles very early right now, gets healed right back up though, and Nova gets taken out. Skyhook though, traded out, so the main tank is out of the fight, and Arasaria has to be dealt with in the front line. And I mean, it happens. He gets taken out, and so does PHDale. So this is going to be a very nice defense coming through if the Russians can pull it off. Yaku trying to get a freeze onto Mirka in the backline, but doesn't really find anything. And I mean, the overtime gets procced here, so there is still potentially a chance for Skyhook gets bursted down in literally a second, and no one's there. And now it's either a draw or win for the Russians.
Yeah, they've set. I mean, they've got the condition here. If they full hold, they can draw this map, and that could be quite good for them. Because they have the advantage of Germany just managed to hold out for these 2 minutes. That could be good, but the issue you have here, they only had a minute to push, meaning that they don't have any time to get that crucial ultimates online, which it helps the comp they were playing with this May, and you have 2 minutes, you're definitely gonna probably have every ult at some point, and if they save it and use it all at one, I don't know, probably will get this point because they only need 1 tick now. because Germany didn't get any capture there. And
Yeah.
I want to talk about Nova. Nova being really dominant. Just before he died at the middle of the fight, he had 70% of ultimate charge, and I think the next person had maybe 30 when
Yeah.
Nova was at 70.
Junkrat charges it so fast, especially when you're so good, like Nova is a Junkrat. And I mean, like, one thing I want to bring up as well is that if this is a draw, it's just gonna add even more maps for Germany to play. I mean, there's still, you know, like if the draw comes through, there's gonna be more maps, and the longer the series goes on, and there's a second series as well, right? So the longer the series goes on, it's gonna be worse and worse for the Germans, I would say, because now that Nova's here, I mean, I say that Nova gets taken out instantly, but now that Nova's actually in the lineup, it's gonna be a lot harder for the Germans to actually win this, plus the extra series they have.
Yeah, they now actually swap off that Sombra and go
Onto his
to
hero.
his signature hero of this Junkrat, and they've got the Mercy now, meaning Nova's is going to be doing an insane amount of damage. The damage beast coming through just is going to be so much, and I think it could be a bit too much to handle considering they have no shields. No, they have Sigma shield, but is that really much anymore?
Yeah, Babushka though gets taken out on this rotation. Now Daddy Pig's gonna get hooked in and almost killed as well. Does you know, get bubbled, but still, you know, dies because of it. And it's a very scrappy rotation there for the Russians, and they need to find a way to get through this choke without dying.
Yeah, the only ultimate's really coming online now for Russia. I was talking about ultimate charge, and no one's really able to charge right now. I mean, we have the 60% on the Hog, but when the other team has nearly, they've got that nano boost, they've nearly got the tire, it's going to be hard to push into this.
Yeah, it's gonna be extremely difficult to push in, but there are nanos on both sides, so I mean, if the Hog gets the nano, manages to pop off, that could be a thing. But the bubbles are used early here for Daddy Pig, and it's going to be so difficult. Nova gets taken out in a trade for Yekiyu, and that might make it a little bit easier for the attacking side to get in. Although the nanoed Hog's going to hold him off for a little bit while longer as Skyhawk just gets hooked in, doesn't die though, but that's a big starting pick for Zeagle. Now that's going to probably have to be rezzed up by PHDL at some point, as Portos goes in, tries to get a hook, gets bubbled up because of the overextending, but Skyhawk going down as well, and Zeagle's just coming up clutch with all of these picks. There's Kaijio trying to get at least a bit of healing in here, but it's just not happening. There's two people down here for the Russians, but there's no contest happening at all for the side of Germany, and this might be where the series gets evened up, and yeah, 1-1 on both sides here, and it's looking pretty even so far.
Yeah, we're now heading 1-1 into the escort map, I believe. This should be good. One team is definitely, we know, gonna win this next map. You can't draw a score. So this is gonna pull whoever wins this next map to the match set. Well, if it's Germany, they have to win another game. If Russia win, they're one map from winning the entire tournament. This entire cup.
Yeah. Because remember, Russia have that advantage. The longer it goes, the more this benefits them, because they only have to win one series, and Germany have to win two. So
yeah,
evening this up is, you know, very good here for the Russians.
Yeah, it's exactly what they needed right now. That loss and control, which was so close the entire time, and they just showed here they have what it takes to pull it off to win. Now we gotta ask for the map pick.
Yep, there is gonna be a map pick. It's gonna be Germany's this time because they lost the map. So hopefully they pick something that, you know, doesn't really allow for Junkrat. Although last time I said that in the last series I casted of Russia, they picked Junkertown, which isn't, you know, a great junk map, and Nova still made it work. So I'm not too sure about, you know, whether Germany's map pick will matter in terms of whether Nova plays Junkrat or not. But Nova was trying to show some flexibility in terms of playing the Sombra, in terms of trying to play other stuff where, you know, last time I saw Nova playing, I think Junkrat was the only thing he played.
Yeah, we have the Junkertown pick coming through, being more of a hit scan map. If it was either a Junkertown or Watchpoint Gibraltar, I don't think we'd be seeing so much of this Junkrat. But as you said, we may get it from them.
Yeah, I mean, Fallen Sleep here might benefit from the fact that this is a a Widowmaker map primarily, right? Because Fallen Sleep has been very good on the hit scan today. And I do think that hopefully, I mean, I don't think that the other DPS here, Zeagle, will be able to maybe contest Fallen Sleep because on that first map on the McCree, Fallen Sleep was looking amazing. Yekyu as well, both of them seem to be very good hit scan heroes. They played the double hit scan on King's Row, I think, a couple times. So hopefully they get their value, the bang for their buck out of this map pick.
Yeah, the hit scan being very good here, but we can't forget about Zeagle. Zeagle, actually, I think is what made them win the end of Kings Row there. He got the opening pick on the Ana. He got the opening. He just got loads of picks, and that was just being really strong. Of course, picks being strong. What am I on about? Just getting the early pick. They had to get the Mercy Res off. And that means they're doing no healing, so they could just pick everyone else off. Yeah, now we
I
just have
think
to
those
wait.
picks, like I said, were just very good from Zeagle. I think if it goes to a Widow Duel, deciding it, I think it'll be close. But I do have Germans on my list to just win out in a situation like that. Whenever Russia seem to not be able to rely on Nova, it's always down to Zeagle. But if both DPS pop off for Germany, then if Nova's out of the fight or can't get value out of this junk, then I think it'll end up being like just a 2v1 DPS duel, where the Widow has to deal with two angles. And Hanzo is viable on this map, and we've seen the Hanzo being played here by Yekyu, so it could work.
And I want to talk about the off tank from Germany, Rosario. We've actually seen them play Zarya, we've seen them play D.Va, and we see them play Sigma. Really show the flexibility. We haven't seen so much flexibility from the off tank from Russia, and I think that's what you kind of need. You kind of need to have a flexible off tank. You kind of adapt to the situation. He did. I saw at the end of that King's Row, even though they lost it, Rosario getting a big accretion off onto onto
Words,
the
English
onto,
language.
onto the Roadhog.
Portos, there you go.
Portos
it.
being,
Got there eventually.
so we got there, and I think we are going to be seeing Nova swapping out.
Whoa, okay, so Nova not in for this specific map. I'm not surprised. I think that having Sloth in might provide a little bit more of the what would you call it? The flexibility, I guess, because having the option to play like McCree or Hanzo or Sombra or anything like that on Junktown, it's gonna be it's gonna make it a little bit easier for Russia, let's say, because Nova seems like very good at Junkrat, but the game sense. I mean, you need game sense to be able to play Widow and Sombra and stuff like that. And I mean, considering the fact that Nova got picked off by a Junkrat trap on Sombra on the first push of last round, like last map, I just don't think that it's gonna work. Like having Nova on anything other than Junkrat.
Yeah, Nova. He didn't really. We saw him on the Sombra, and he just got killed early. I don't know whether that was he got trapped. I believe so. He couldn't really do too much, but I definitely agree with Sloth coming in here instead.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you mind if I leave this with you for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, that's fine. We should be going into the map here. Both teams have said they're ready, and we're going into Junkertown. Germany will be defending first. This being traditionally, as we said, a hit scan map pick, and yeah, we're seeing obviously these comps not being too much, but we're seeing the Reinhardt selection here on this side, and yeah, this Zen Mercy, I could see it happening, but yeah, this Bastion obviously isn't going to be. I don't see it happening with the shields being nerfed. That's kind of how you play Bastion on attack on this map, and you don't really want to be playing shield tanks like Orisa and Sigma right now.
Well, alright, I'm sure the chat loved hearing your voice. I'm back. I just had to welcome my mother into my home. She just came back from the hospital, so that's a big PogChamp. And now coming into this, I mean, what was the point you were making?
I was saying how right now you can't really trust the spawn picks. How Bastion's only really played with a shield composition and with the shield tanks being kind
I
of
mean, it's
erased from
viable
the
in
game.
Junkertown.
With shield tanks kind of being erased right now, that's
Yeah,
essentially
but
what they've done.
it's possible, is the point. Like, it's not impossible, right? There's no such
It-
thing as impossible in Overwatch. But yeah, like you said, there will be the sniper picks coming through, as predicted. But this is a close hold, it looks like, from the side of the Russians. So I think this could be very good, actually, as the wall already comes through, but Merca gets taken out. Portos now has to back up ever so slightly. Doesn't have that speed boost available to get out of the fight, though, and Ziegel gets taken out as well, and this is going horribly wrong for the Russians. They just want to burn time off the clock, though. Portos gets bubbled up, gets dynamited up, but, I mean, Skyhook might go down here. Actually, no, because it's Roadhog who am I getting. And now the Pillars is going to start getting rolling.
Yeah, with control, it's all not control, it's score. It's all about just getting that time down because it doesn't matter how much if you get to 0-0. It's just you need to have a time on the clock. So it's all about just burning down this time and wasting it. And setting up so early means they can contest. They've burnt a minute off the time bank already. And they're going in again, swapping off this Reinhardt now.
Yeah, swapped off the Reinhardt onto the Hog, and that, benefits them in this fight. Managed to take out Skyhawk here, but Eagle does get taken out for the return, so Arasari getting pressured out here might mean that it could be a 2-for-1 trade, but I mean, Daddy Pig going down means it's going to be the complete opposite way of what I just mentioned. Fallen Sleep, though, does get taken out. America comes back on the trade and dies, so I mean, there's no way that Porto survives here. Discorded up, fully charged Zarya beaming him down. I think that this is a lost fight here for the Russians, but that being said, Q gets taken out here, but again, I mean, Ziegel just popping off, but no one else is.
Yeah, Ziegel getting off these headshots, and no one can really follow up. They're kind of late picks, everyone's died, and they're getting the picks, but not when they need them. I'm wondering why we have a Genji coming out here. Genji got nerfed and he hasn't really been the same since.
Yeah, it's not been the same, and I mean, he's getting pressured out backline right now, going down very low, so he's gonna have to be a little bit careful not to die, essentially. And yeah, you're right, the Genji nerfs just make him unplayable.
Yeah, and especially when you've got so much damage, like raw damage coming out from Germans. You've got this Zen Discord Orb applying 30% more damage. You've got the Mercy damage boost doing 50%. You gotta be careful if you're Russian to step out of line, because if you step out of line, you're dying.
Yep, and Sloth knows that firsthand, just died first in that fight. Now Merca does as well. Yeah, Q though gets taken out. No more like backline winter pressure. But Fallen Sleep and Arasari get taken out here, so could be a nice return here for the Russians, as now they're just gonna take pillar control. Trying to take out Skyhawk, but he has a Harmony Orb, but does go down because of the anti, so Babushka kind of clutching up for his team there.
Yeah, Skyhawk losing the Zarya, so he just dies, which is rare in this Roadhog meta. If you have your Zarya, you don't die. But he didn't have that, so he did. And Zarya having this grab now. We did see a really good trans last fight from KGO, but it wasn't enough. With a Widow or a headshot, it doesn't matter if it's a trans, it's a one-shot.
Yeah, indeed, and now Skyhawk has to be careful, but people who have to be careful is actually Ziegel and Merca getting taken out again, and Merca is dying so early in a lot of these fights. It's going to make it so difficult to be able to get any value here, and now Arasaria getting pressured out by Portos, but I mean, it's just tickling. You don't really care if you're Arasaria, you just want to, beat the Winston down. Primal does come through to try and buy some time, but they have to counter it, and the Discord Orb as well. Portos, though, still staying alive just a little while longer as the beat comes through, so they want to try and win this fight. I don't blame them. Arasaria has to be on the back foot right now, getting taken out by his counterpart in Daddy Pig, and now fight slows down ever so slightly as a Bob is going to control some space as Ziegler gets taken out. Portos as well, just inting a little bit too hard there. Now it's just going to be probably a fight win for Germany here as they manage to roll it through to the checkpoint.
Yeah, but Russia have been able to draw some time out. They came into this with, they got to the point at around 2.5 minutes, and now I mean, it's at 3 minutes, but you get a lot of time bumped up from going to point 2, and they've just burnt quite a bit of that away.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the burning time for the clock is their plan here. They want to win on third here, and with their composition, being able to control the high grounds, and it's going to work here. Falling asleep on the little high ground here, trying to at least to get some pressure onto the low ground, but I mean, Portos is just pressuring everyone out here, controlling the space very effectively. And the grab from Daddy Pig could be able to, you know, shut this fight down in an instant. Merc, though, gets taken out here, so no damage boost available for Zeagle. We have to rely on pure mechanics for this one, not being a body shot bandit, but the nano comes through. It could be a nano blade, but Sloth doesn't. Okay, Sloth does decide it's viable now. Manages to find 2 picks with it, gonna try and find a third in Arasaria, and that'll shut down the fight. And finally, the Russians stabilize.
I mean, I understand why they held out on using the blade. They wanted to kill that Zen because they knew they had trans, but if they heard the noise of that blade, they'd instantly just pop it. And KJ just got killed first. The Winston dived onto him, and Sloth was able to kill him. He now swaps off to the Ashe, so we have a double hit scan coming up from both teams. But I think Germany will pull this off a bit better with
Yeah,
the Zen.
let's hope so, as Vavoshka gets taken out here. And the res is already wasted on Zeagles. No healing available. And now Zeagle, Daddy Pig, America all getting taken out here. Skyhook popping off a lot, actually. Getting 3 picks in that fight. So now they're going to roll through, and hopefully the Hog will be able to prevent any stalls from coming through.
Yeah, they're coming here now under the 2-minute mark. It's a decent time. Right now the game is just stalled for Russia. You can't really do too much. They've got the utilities to get this point, and I don't know how long they're gonna be able to hold this. The Bob comes in. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any stalls really happening there. It's just that one, you know, little chunk of time burn off, probably about 10 seconds. And that was a very good round there for the Germans. I think they've, you know, found their way around this map quite well.
Yeah, the 1 minute 26. I mean, time is time in the end of this. Quite often you get little time on escort just because of the fact that quite often the closer you get to the thing, the quicker they can contest and just burn off time. A bit like like the Hanamura kind of maps. Those maps just go on forever, the fights, because you could just keep coming back. And 126 is respectable. It should get them what they need. They have set a win condition, getting it to the end, and Russia are going to have to try and push the cart better them, or just get to the end at all if they want to even have a chance to win this map, because Germany have this win condition now, and with how the nature of these maps, with how these the nature of these map archetype, it's just very defender favored. When the closer you get to the end, you can just keep coming back as it gets closer and further away from the attacker's spawn.
Yeah, and the defensive Widow is so good as well. I mean, you're able to, you know, hold angles, but also reposition a lot more than the attackers can. So I think that that's going to be something that Yakio tries to do here, although I've been told the in-game names are wrong because of the side swap by our producer, so that's something to know as Skyhawk gets taken out quickly here. So I mean, the defense could be shattered in pretty much an instant here, as now the dive comes from Portos, trying to find something in the back line, but gets taken out, and Yakio popping off a little bit here, managing to find 2 members of the Russian side, and they're just going to stabilize that society.
And I mean, I'm gonna call Holger main tank in this meta just because the way he works in this current composition. Even though he's not, he's the kind of one who takes all the damage, so that's what I'm gonna call him. The main tank going down first, but
Yeah.
you can't do anything because the DPS are just too good.
Yeah, I think these trades coming out to tell who has the advantage, but Daddy Pig and Kaijio going down and the rest onto Kaijio means the defenders might actually win this one out. As the that was a very aspirational coach gun coming falling asleep there. You know, Zeagle wasn't really expecting that, but we'll gladly take the pick anyway. And now this might be where the Russians can actually push forward, try and take some space, and the hook onto Arasari is so good as well. The Harmony Orb in the bubble though keeps him alive as Yakyu popping off once again, finding 2 picks. And there's nothing, if you don't shut down Yakyu, you're just gonna lose the fights, Russia. And now I mean, the hook is wasted here, so there's no real progression here. It's hard to, say how to progress in this team fight as Portos goes down as well. And there's just picks happening left, right, and center onto the Russian side. Fallen Sleep and Zeagle get traded out right now. Zeagle came back on the Doomfist there for some reason. And, I mean, the Bob is used, but it just gets completely wasted because of that whole hog, although it does end up landing on the point. The Skyhawk getting taken out means that this is probably going to be a winnable fight here for the side of the Russians, but I mean, the Germans are playing a positional game right now.
Yeah, they are. They're just waiting for any kind of ults that they have online to defend right now. They know they had this grab coming on and this Transcendence. Oh, the grab goes
Oh, the
in.
grab is used here for the defenders, so they want to try and clutch this one up. Zeagle gets taken out again. Maybe the, should swap off at this point as the trans comes through. Still trying to clutch it up right now as the res onto Zeagle will allow for a bit more pressure onto the point here and one-shot potential, and 2 picks come through from the DPS combined there, and the Russians finally might be able to cap this point. Well, a lot of time burnt off the clock.
Yeah, the Mercy thinking they can get their res off just because the trans is there. You forget about crowd control. Also be able to cancel reses. It's just not being killed. And yeah, it's just I don't know what that res was, and I'm a bit yeah.
Oh, Yaku getting the jump shot starting pick onto America there, so now the Russians don't really have a means of coming back into this fight, but I mean, Sloth did manage to clutch up there, but that res, I mean, if you don't, camp the body and wait for the res, there's no point in trying to go for a pick like that. Now Skyhawk has the hook, doesn't obviously get anything out of it, but Daddy Pig and Sloth getting taken out. Kaijio in the backline does get one-shot comboed out there, and the pressure from this Meteor Strike might allow for a very big play coming through onto the grab, and it does. Yaku does go down here, but I don't think there's going to be anything else gained. That being said, Sloth continues to surprise me. I keep jinxing it, but I mean, this does look like finally Russians, they can actually get pressure onto the point and actually win this team fight, hopefully, as the Discord onto Skyhawk means that, he can't use that whole hog. Finally checkpoint capped here, and a pretty good time ban coming up.
I mean, I came into this questioning why we swapped into the Doomfist, and we're seeing that the synergy that you can have with the Zarya grab. I saw that grab coming, and I instantly knew, oh god, we're gonna get a big play here. And it got one pick, but it got the pick they needed. And honestly, it provides so much pressure. You kind of have to be on edge when you're playing as Zenyatta. That's why we've seen it swap. You have to always be cautious because the Doomfist can just pop up in your face, and that's the support's nightmare. Unless you're Brig, but Brig isn't that good right now.
Yeah, and the Doom swap caused a swap in the actual enemy composition as well. I mean, you haven't really seen the Widowmaker now because you're seeing the McCree. And with 2 picks on the board here for the Russians, they might just snowball this very quickly through. Sloth here trying to go for a bit of a greedy extra pick here. Might want to be ever so slightly careful. When the Doomfist on the high ground here is just going to be so powerful, able to just slam in whenever he so desires. But it does get stunned up, and that is why you play the McCree. But Yaku still has to stand still to be able to get that pick, and that means that the shot is easy for Sloth. And now that 2 players are down on the side of Germany, there's no way they're winning this team fight. Bob gets bursted down, Kaijio as well. Zeagle does get traded out onto here after getting rezzed up, so a lot of trust into him there. But Yaku again getting taken out here. Araceli is going to come, falling down here. And I think that this just isn't a winnable fight for the Germans. However, the grab comes through, trying to find something onto the squishies. Again, doesn't really get much, though, because there's no follow-up. Everyone else is so preoccupied doing other things. And now Kaijio and getting taken out by Daddy Pig there. And the whole hog as well to C9 it. Oh, this is so good for the Russians. I thought they'd lose this. But they're just so good with the Doomfist.
Yeah, that Doomfist coming out, I think is honestly what saved them. It forced the whole compositional swap. They had to swap off that Widow, they had to swap off that Zen, they had to go to the Honor and the McCree to try and stop with crowd control. But then you just have to worry about the rest of the team. You can't just think about one player. You swap 2 people just to counter 1 person. Oh, and we have a pause. Pause coming in.
Mess up coming through here with the ping issues or whatever, or a restart apparently.
Restart.
Yeah. To clarify on what I said before, our producer was telling me to tell you guys that it's the in-game names, not the overlay, that are messed up. So the overlay is apparently correct. but the in-game names are messed up. They're opposites. So RUS is Germany and Germany is Russia. Confusing, I know, but that's how the cookie crumbles. I've also upped my mic volume again because I feel like I'm too quiet.
What's the button to unpause?
Okay, they are ready.
I need to quickly get the keybind to unpause this map here.
Oh my god.
I'm just looking for it because you can't.
It's Control Shift equals, right?
Control Shift equals. Oh, there we
go.
There we
Why is it
go.
coming clutch?
I thought I could do it in the show lobby thing, but apparently not. And we do have Germany coming in here with the smaller time bank, and this could be really not too great for them. We did see Russia hold them a bit at spawn early on. They might try this again because they have a whole minute left. Oh, I unplugged my headset, so I'm not getting any audio, but you should be able to still hear me. You should. I'm back. I can hear it.
Okay, nice. There we go. Got it.
You should be able. I think we might see a bit of holding the car because, of course, time is everything, and we're probably not going to be seeing it go to 6-6. They're just going to want to take as much of this time away, and the Hanzo coming out here. I'm a bit questioning projectile not being so good.
I think the defense just wants one-shot potential. They want to hold this corner, make sure the cop can't progress, past there, but also getting the one-shot potential with the Hanzo, the Ashe, with the Dangerous Mercy. It's just going to be so powerful in this. And I mean, the hook was wasted there from Daddy Pig, so a bit less frontline pressure because of that. And the thing is, whenever you use his resources, it gives the enemy an opportunity to come through, and now the Russians can just push this payload past the corner. And Daddy Pig also gets hooked in here, gets taken out instantly because of the pressure from the Ashe. And manages to find 2 with it, so that's going to be huge. And now the frontline pressure is going to come through. They're going to try and get extra picks onto Portos here, but I don't think that the Russians are having a great time right now. They want to, back up. Portos got disappointed up there. And the Germans now, they're going to, try and push forward. But it's just a fight for the cart right now. Both teams want to play this cart. And Arasaria, I mean, gets taken out here, so the offense might just get, shut down like that. Skyhawk trying to burst down this bomb, but it's just in such a good position where everyone can push up onto it. And now everyone's just getting pushed to the side, and PHDL and Kaijio go down. The Russians looking very good on the defense here, and now the Widowmaker can't really, get into this fight, can't really stall. Gonna die to Sloth there, so I think Sloth got like, what, 4 kills there? So it's looking very good.
Yeah, Sloth was absolutely popping
5 now! Sloth just completely clutches up for the Russians there. Nice.
Sloth, that was actually insane. But I do think what won them that... Well, not won. We can't say won yet, but
close.
That kept that payload stopping it from moving was the res from Merca onto the Zarya. Just so they had the point pressure. They'd lost both tanks. The res comes through. Sloth picks people off, and it's happy days for Russia. They do not have to push the car too far. I do believe we're probably going to see Germany try and do a bit of a spawn hold here. That's what I would do when you only have to get it round the corner, really.
Yeah, you want to burn time off the clock, and then after like 1 or 2 fights, maybe just disengage, consolidate your power, consolidate your ults, and then you can, come back into it.
Yeah, you have to play a bit of a
second corner,
a bit of a spawn hold comp, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this Mei come out.
Yeah.
And
I love Mei. Let's go.
You need a fast comp too, because after your first contest has failed, you need to get back because you don't have too far to go, and we do see them here sneaking into this room. They're probably going to try and wall them off as they exit.
Wait.
Bastion?
Okay. No. Because I saw a double shield, and I thought they'd peek out on the Bastion, but they didn't. So now it's going to be this one composition coming through, and already a wall onto Portos. So Portos is going to go down very quickly here. But PHDL gets traded out here, and so does Falling Sleep. This is looking very bad now for the Germans. This just went completely wrong. Sloth finding 2 picks in that, and I thought the wall would just get a couple picks instantly. And now it's just going to be so easy for the Russians to push this forward, and the Germans are just staggering. Skyhawk didn't go back quickly enough, didn't charge back. and the Honor going down as well, and now it's going to have to be very quick stall contests here. The Sombra swap falling asleep as well as Arasaria on the ball, and this is going to be, you know, dire straits now for the side of the Germans. They're going to try and get something here with a hack, but Sloth already has a Sombra clocked. Arasaria gets taken out as well. No real, you know, tank pressure on the point now, as Alusha is the only one there contesting. Babushka does get taken out, so no more backline pressure from the Zen. I take it back, the res comes through, and that is just glorious now. 6 people on the point now for the Russians, and there's no way anyone's contesting into that solo. Daddy Pig does go extremely low there, but doesn't quite die now as Fallen Sleep gets taken out, and Portis trades it onto Kaijo as well. And that just looks amazing for Russians. That map, I didn't think they'd win it, but they did.
Yeah, I mean, it does say Germany wins, but I did forget to change the lobby. That's my fault.
You aren't the original lobby owner, so you can't change the names.
I
we have to,
got
we have to let
given
Bayob do.
I got given owner. So
Yeah.
that is my fault, but Russia did win this here, and it just, they put a really good performance on. They steamrolled them kind of, really, and had a really strong defense. I did notice at the end, Portos and Daddy Pig did swap the tanks they were playing. Daddy Pig going to the Hog after playing Zarya the whole game. And we saw both teams liking the Zen here. I think because of the composition you're playing, you want to be the one who does the most damage. That's how you win. With this comp where it's not really so much poke damage, it's just burst. Yeah.
You want to get dynamites, the left clicks from the Ash, stuff like that. And it was working very well. Sloth is looking very good on the Ash, I'm not going to lie. I like how they swapped Nova out, and they're transitioning into these different looks that we haven't seen from them before.
Yeah, for sure. And the next map is going to be Assault. Russia coming into this 2-1, one map away from winning the entire Community Cup. It's really big for them. Germany, oh, they already know. They want Hanamura.
Yeah, Hanamura. I think that's fine.
Russia.
Well, it's interesting because now you can technically just bring Nova back in and sub him in for Sloth, right?
Yeah, Hanamura actually is a really insane Junkrat map. I wouldn't be surprised to see him coming in.
Indeed. And I mean, the Junkrat and Hanamura it's good for both points on defense. Wouldn't say it's great on the offense because the way Nova likes to play it is take off angles, get pressure onto targets, maybe try and burst them down in one shot. But you can't really do that on Hanamura. There's no real flank routes. There's no off angles you can take until you're actually on the points themselves, which in itself is a hard task to do on offense. So maybe they keep Sloth in here, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we do have Nova come in.
Ooh, it's Nova and Sloth.
I can't change the team names.
Yeah, because Beobob needs lead. I told you who's the original one.
Okay, Beobob, can you change it, please? Just change the names for me, and you can pass it back. Because we need Russia and there we go. Thank you. Both teams are now ready, and we're going to come into this with the Russia defense, and they only need this map to win.
And if Germany win, then it goes to map 5, where I think they have to win another map after that.
No, it will go to map 5, and they will, if they win map 5, they have to play a whole nother set.
Basically, yeah.
So
I mean,
they're just
it could be horrible for Germany here. I think if they're winning, like they've got to feel like, okay, we're winning, but we're kind of not winning mentally, you know?
We're not winning mentally, and we're not winning the match so far right now. 2-1 with an amazing Junkrat map. I'd be terrified seeing Nova come in. You got to be careful.
It's both Nova and Sloth too.
Nova and Sloth. We did. Yeah,
it's an Ash god and a Junkrat god on Hanamura defense first. I think there's a full hold coming through here, Christian, don't you?
We could actually see the full hold. I mean, depending on whether we get ultimates just coming all together, that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah. They want to spread out their ults, make sure their ult economy is good.
And yeah, we see a Reinhardt going for an early fire strike. Oh, gets nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't really get anything. Maybe a bit too early. Or maybe there's a bubble from Aristeria. I'm not sure. Checking. I was getting a nice angle point. And now the Dynamite comes through onto Portos, so gonna have to play a little bit careful. As Nova tries to go for a Reddit play and take out the Pharah. Doesn't manage to do it though, only gets one shot on, not both of them. And now Skyhawk wants to try and engage, finds a hook onto Nova, and that right there is surgical, clean. Although, Yaku does get traded out onto here, but without any res coming through onto Nova, I don't think that the Russians can hold us on defense now. Daddy, though, managing to take out Skyhawk, and Aristeria just gets pinned into that room as well. So, this first fight, I didn't think the Russians would, hold it here, but they did.
I would love to mention Baboska right now. Baboska getting an anti-nade onto 3 of them. They got onto the Roadhog, the other Ana, and the Pharah. Just obviously the anti on Roadhog means he's gonna die because he can't heal himself, and he's just a ult battery. Then Baboska already at this nano boost basically.
I mean, Hog already is an ult battery, even without the anti in the game. Like he just feeds ult charge. That's why you see Nova at 60% despite dying seconds earlier. And goes for the trap on the top right. So maybe trying to catch the Pharah off guard doesn't really do anything though. So hook is wasted here from Skyhawk. So it's just me, poking, bubbling, stuff like that. Trying to force their way through, and Aristeria gets destroyed in an instant, and so does Fallen Sleep. So Sloth here now, the one to come up with the picks this fight. HDL though does res up Aristeria, so they might want to try and come through, but Yeki as well. There's 3 picks on the board here for Sloth, and it is looking amazing for this man. And now we're just going to be waiting on potentially a regroup now from the Germans.
I mean, it just feels like we're living in Sloth's world. He has control over everything, and he's just taking lives left, right, and center. The tie comes in.
Oh, and that's just some great stagger picks there from Nova. Managing to find 2 members, and it's huge, honestly. Like, that'll buy them a bunch of time. It'll also, it'll mean that Aristeria has to wait a little to, poke and build up that grab.
And we've been talking about it all series long. We've been talking about time. And in Overwatch, I feel time is the most important thing. And they're just burning it here.
Yep, time is money, or so they say, and the Nano coming through, trying to find something, but can't really, push forward with that grab in the way. And now for Yaku get taken out there. And this could actually be a turnable fight here for the Russians, in fact. I think it's a 1-1 already. There's a Roadhog just in the side room. Skyhawk gonna get pressured out there by Nova and Daddy, and it's just looking very good right now.
Yeah, and thing is, we're seeing Russia use these ultimates, but they just have more. They've got the Bob, they've got the Shatter, they've nearly got this Tire. You would think that this composition of using this Pharah would be great against the comp of the Junkrat, but when you have Sloth, and we're just living in Sloth's world, as I've said.
Yep, indeed. The Bob is used to engage here. Doesn't quite find anything as it gets slept up. The Sloth coming up with 3. Absolutely dirty. And now 30 seconds remaining. This is like last minute sort of desperation push time now.
Yeah, and Sloth still has this Bob available, and that's just gonna be able to control the point even more, even if they get there. They haven't been able to touch it yet. I can see this full hold that you were talking about coming. It's very realistic.
Yeah, the Grav Barrage has to be big here, but it isn't. The Barrage gets like pretty much nothing there as Nova manages to take out Yaku in the air. The point cap is, coming soon though, as Aristeria does get ended up trying to, pressure out Portos on point, but the Grav is just so amazing, and Aristeria is going to get bursted down in a matter of seconds, and so is the Sombra. Babushka does go down, but there's no one available to touch, and this is a full hold coming through, and it's huge.
Yeah, it's exactly what you predicted at the start, and it was very
point with prediction.
it was very clean play. I mean, your prediction that Germany might win this is probably not coming true as of now. You just need a tick, and if you do, it's a draw, and we go to map 6 now if it's a draw. I think that's we'll probably just play another control map. And
yeah, if it's a draw, it'll be control, and then if Germany win, then it'll be, I believe, another control. I don't think we've had a map 6 before, have we?
No, but I believe that's what's gonna have to happen. We
Well, we
can't
haven't got
have any.
Daz here, so we've got to hope for the best.
I mean, realistically, if it does, it will have to be a map 6. I don't think we have it available in the graphic to go to 6 maps, but
But it'll happen.
it will have to happen. That's if Germany get a full hold, which I didn't see happening. Really, you just need one tick, and Hanamura is one of the maps that goes on for ages.
Yeah. And
Normally.
the Sim Junk comp, this is what you run on Lijiang Control Center in the current meta, generally. On this map, it'll be amazing. Just TP to point, you know, get your turrets on point, make sure you're spamming the chokes, and the turrets can watch the other one, and it's just, oh god. It's gonna be so amazing here for the Russians if they can make it, you know, work, I guess, but there are ways to counter it. Obviously, an anti-nade from Kaijio can shut it down in pretty much an instant, so gotta watch out for that. Or that could happen. Sloth getting taken out in an instant there, and I don't think Sloth's gonna want to stay on the sim now. They know. And the Germans are gonna be prepared for it. They have a Junkrat trap available and everything. And they're just gonna be all prepared for this Symmetra coming through. But Sloth does still decide to stay on it. Gonna be slow coming back from spawn.
I mean, this is going to be very good for the Symmetra because you have this Reinhardt shield. The Symmetra damage just charges up, but it's going to be difficult to TP.
Oh,
they were
fallen
prepared.
sleep, finding 3 in literally that one instant with the mines. And finds the 4th one there just onto Mirka. And that right there is why you should swap off the sim. And obviously Sloth takes my advice. Just swap off the sim.
I was just about to say how if you sim teleport, the Junkrat's just going to shoot into where the teleporter is going to go. So it happened literally as I was about to say it. My mind predicting things, but yeah, we do have the swap off here onto Sloth. Shatter goes in.
An attempt at a 180 shatter there. I think that's Skyhook trying to look cool for the stream. Didn't quite work though. I think he should focus more on actually trying to win the game as Nova gets taken out here. Rez will come through, but Netapic also getting taken out, and you just can't get past here with a Ryan composition against this Junkrat spam. You have to rely on picks from Sloth or Nova. I was going to say Miracle then.
I mean, realistically, I'd love to see what that could be useful for them right now is a Lucio. Just speed them through that choke. They're not really going to be able to absorb all the damage, so they just have to just speed past it or get through it.
Alright, both Junkrat towers in the fight right now. Novus gets destroyed while Fall Sleeps gets value. So very nice there. They managed to clean up the fight now with the Intelligence Field getting destroyed. And there's no real way for the Russians to enter here. Nova, an uncharacteristic mistake.
I mean, we could go to the map 6 actually. This is looking more and more as a draw as we go on, but Nova kills falling asleep.
That is what they needed. That, you know, forces the res out, but Sloth getting taken out, does get resed up here, but Portos just getting bursted down in an instant. And genuinely, I think the full hold you were talking about might actually happen. I think there's will be 2 full holds coming through because it's just looking so good for the Germans right now.
Yeah, they're using the ultimates correctly. They are at disadvantage, use a grab, brought them back for them. That's what you kind of have to do, and they're doing it. But
Yeah,
Bob comes in.
Here. Just
I
gonna,
don't know.
you know, force out the Russians some choke by a bit of time.
Yeah, I think it could have been placed a bit better. It wasn't in probably the best position you'd want.
Right, another wasted slam coming through from Skyhook there. Not really finding anything, so Portos getting taken out still though. I mean, despite the wasted ultimates from the side of Germans, I mean, Portos just get rested up, but it might not be all that good here for the Russians. Portos just getting completely slammed up right now by that Nano Rhine, and it's so powerful, so oppressive, and now it's last fight territory. There's basically nothing to work with.
Yeah, you have the Bob, you're gonna have to use that properly to contest, if I'm honest. But you're pushing here into a tire, into a shatter.
Lucio.
The Lucio comes out now. I think the still pick. We do see the Junkrat come hiding.
Yeah, Fallen Sleep trying to find someone with that tire. Manages to find 3, and that is the clutch we needed from the Germans. And Daddy Pig still managing to get a pick or two maybe here, as Sloth also gets value out of the ball, but falling sleep with the 6k, and that is just so clean. You'll love to see it. 6k, 3 of those a tire kill, 3 of those regular kills, and even though it's a draw, the Germans, I mean, they still got a chance coming into this.
Yeah, and now they don't get to pick. We're coming everyone to Busan. Next map. I don't know. Do you keep Nova in? Li Zhang is Nova in.
I don't know, honestly.
Both Junkrats being dominant there on each of their defenses. Nova shutting down the defense with Sloth, and Falling Sleep just holding that there.
Would you like to see like a dive swap or something?
I mean,
just to get past the choke.
I wanted to see a D.Va because defense matrix. Or a D.Va Lucio is what I think you should have swapped to, because of course just absorb the damage and get past it. That's what you needed to do. You needed to go off angle, take a different approach. Because if you're just going through that choke, you're just gonna walk into the damage of the Junkrat. And
the defense matrix is just so good. The speed boost is so good. And like you said, the last map here, well, not last, but
it could be. It could be the last map.
It might not be. But undrawable map is gonna be Busan, and this is a map where Junkrat can be played on, I'd say, 2 of the maps, and then downtown is where you really have to swap off it. Go like Widow, maybe have like some sort of backline pressure hero or a frontline pressure hero, something like that. You can't really have 2 long range hit scans. I wouldn't say it works. It just doesn't let your tank line get in there. So I think that's what they want to go for, probably.
I mean, Busan being a very good sniper map. We do see them liking these double sniper comps. We've seen the Hanzo Widow. We've seen the Ashe Hanzo and the Ashe Widow. We've also seen McCree. He's not really a sniper, but we'll chuck him in there. This could be favorable for either team. Both of them have played this Hanzo. They've played these double snipers. And it could be close. Germany could pull this back. Even though it's going to be tough. They're currently at the mindset they're one off. This is an undrawable map. And yeah, I think we're going to see a swap coming in.
and Red Wolf.
Red Wolf
players joining in here.
We've seen Zeagle. We've seen Zeagle. We haven't seen Red Wolf.
Yeah, Red Wolf could be a new player, I would say.
And I can't tell you for which team.
Yeah, that's the thing. They joined at the same time, so I assume it's for Russia. As Nova is gonna get subbed out, and Zeagle's coming back in. So it's looking like maybe some more of those double hit scan comps, some more flexibility in terms of what you want to play on that sort of off DPS role. Other than the Ashe, which Sloth is, tending towards.
Red Wolf is
Ashe Widow.
Red Wolf isn't a player. I've just let that know. And Sloth, Russia are ready. And you want to ask for Germany, but yeah. Sorry, I cut you off there. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying they're probably going to run the Widow, the Ashe, and they want to play some Hanzo as well. Like I don't know, like they're just tending towards more flexible stuff rather than what they're playing before.
I mean, Zeagle also having his profile picture on Overwatch as Hanzo. We could see some Hanzo, but I'm expecting either double hit scan, double sniper kind of thing.
This is a very strong Widow map because of the Sanctuary and Downtown stages. Mecha base, not so much. I'd say you see Junkrat here, even if Nova's not in, but I'm not sure about the others.
I mean, I'm expecting Widow. You could get some really good angles, but we might see the Genji come through. That they're showing us. They're showing us it. We're also being shown Doomfist and Tracer, but I very much doubt that. Even though you get really good Grav synergy, but do you really need 2 Grav synergies?
Yeah, I think just stick with 1. I think
Tracer probably.
I mean, your Tracer can I wouldn't call it Grav synergy. You can use it +1 Grav, but it's only if the Doomfist is used ultimate to survive, basically. And they're interchangeable, I would say. And Doomfist on a map like this is probably the one you want to keep in here because you can just punch someone into a wall and the walls are so close, and you're basically playing close range the entire time.
I mean, as a Tracer main, I can hope. But we do actually see the swap onto the main McCree.
Yep, so this is back to the February meta, as I like to call it, and I mean, Yaku is probably going to have a bit of trouble walling any of the DPS off, but the tanks for sure, as the aggression gets punished there for Skyhawk. The anti comes through, and the pin actually gets bubbled up though. Very fast reaction time there to be able to save Portos. And now the counter pin comes through onto Skyhawk, and Arisari going down as well. Daddy Pig clutching up a couple of picks there. Zeagle also on the Ashe, so it's actually Zeagle on the Ashe and Sloth on the Genji.
I mean, we have two great Ashe players on one team, is basically what we're seeing. Both capable, so we don't need to worry about who's playing it. It's gonna work. Baboska having 74% ult shot, and they won the fight. That's really interesting, showing how they keep
Oh,
it
and just a
alive.
big anti, forcing out all the cleanse abilities, kind of the bubble, the ice block, and it is so good. The aggression will come through now from the Russians, although the Germans fire back with a pick onto Portos, but it won't matter too much. It's a 3v5 fight. You're not winning that.
Yeah, they're just gonna hold this here, and Zeagle and Daddy Pig just clearing things up. Daddy Pig being solid all game, great. They're just being a great off tank basically all game is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, ooh.
Yep, miss slam there for Portos. Doesn't quite find anything as a pin again comes through onto Skyhawk, and it manages to find him. Another pressure will come through from Portos. Trying to push in ever so slightly here. Get some extra picks, but the rest of the team's already done it for him.
Yeah, the nano coming through. Portos just does so much damage. He's nearly at this shatter again. Skyhawk also nearly at another one as well. With both. Wait, no, I'm losing it. It was Portos' slam. Sorry.
Yeah, Daddy Pig has a grav, but if Arisari eats this grav, it could be massive. And I mean, they've done it before. Arisari has eaten this grav before, so we'll see what happens as the frontline pressure comes through. And I mean, slam as well, so a lot. I'm speechless. What an overcommitment from the side of the Germans. It's 4 ultimates in one fight. Is that what it requires to get past the Russians?
I think it does. We do now actually swap onto what I would call the February comp. We were playing Ryan Diva this year.
True.
Not the Ryan Zara at the start. That's what we did play. But it was a bit more of a... Now we go to Doomfist. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but the slam comes through. Manages to find like 5 people. The follow-up just isn't there though because of the preemptive there from Yaku. Despite that though, Skyhawk goes down, so does PH Dale, and this is just looking extremely good right now as last fight territory available here for the Russians.
Yeah, and with this, they're gonna be closing it up. They're getting near to winning this whole kind of
Series.
the stage of Nepal, not Nepal, Busan. I like Nepal.
You get there.
And you're pushing here into a blade and a bob. This is gonna be very difficult. A nano blade
Bob's
at
just
that
gonna
as well.
disrupt everyone on this point right now. We're dealing so much damage just into the back. Yeah, Q goes down and Zeagle finds a regular pick on Sloth also with the blade, managing to find I think that's 2 members there as well as Zeagle just up and pop off there. 5, I think that's 6 actually. No, 5 of the 6 picks there. We're down to the DPS, so some very good plays coming through, and it just goes to show that the Russians just relying so much on these DPS to just, you know, not carry them as such, but get a lot of their work done.
Yeah, the current state of the game is DPS carry. You kind of just fit around that. That's what it is, and I don't know what we need to be seeing, but maybe not the February comp. It's not February. We're now in August, heading into September, and the meta's changed. It's just, yeah, I don't know. We see Ashe is who you want to play, not McCree.
Yeah,
We kind of moved away from that.
The compositions, right, from Germany just haven't been the best the entire way through. I think that they're running some really weird compositions that really just don't match the current meta. And I don't think that, like, this soldier even is necessary. Like, sure, it's got mobility, but what else does it provide other than sort of anti-dive and sort of like off-angle pressure? It just doesn't really do much. Now Skyhawk is just gonna be trying to push in here without like a Mei there to be able to help. It just doesn't do much. And now point control is gonna be gained here. Well, actually, I was gonna say point control gained, but it's not point control at all. Skyhawk just completely dominates the Russians that were trying to capture the point.
Yeah, and I think that is definitely down to Skyhawk. I still don't like the German composition. I want to see Ash. Don't show us Soldier. I mean, McCree's a bit iffy, but Soldier, when have you ever seen him since 2017?
Yep, indeed. I'm gonna let you take over for a moment. I have to attend to something quickly, so I'll be right back.
Okay, and we do actually... Russia, they're trying to push in... oh, a pin miss. But Skyhawk is anti-naded here. All Zeagle just doing what he's done all game, just popping off. We've seen Ash from Russia just be so good. And are they not pushing on this? They... Ooh. Then she goes. But we do have the missed Shatter, solo Shatter, the Nano Boost on to Portos, just keeping him alive, and he does so much damage too. We're here able to aggress, everyone's just dying, and this should be Russia cleaning up the point here. And that is exactly what they're going to do. We do have a huge ultimate advantage coming here for Russia. They have the Bob nearly, they've got Blade, they've got damage, Valkyrie, and nearly at the Shatter and the Grav. And all you really have nearly, you've got your Grav nearly, you've got your Tac Visor, but what does that really do in 2020? Not too much. We don't really play Soldier.
The pen comes through here from Portos, doesn't, find anything, but Skyhawk is there, able to shield him, and I mean, this is where the Tac Visor can really get value. Shields out of the fight, and Zeagle, though, is going to trade the pick back out. Going to be able to get 2 here, and 3 actually, as Sloth also gets a dash through, and manages to find 2 picks of his own, so this is looking very good here for the Russians with their DPS carrying.
Yeah, it's 2020. Bob is better aim lock than Soldier. You just don't, because when you have Bob down, you can still gain ultimate charge, you still can shoot, as well as another kind of player shooting. I know it's AI, but it acts as a player, it can contest and everything, and you just get 2 forms of damage rather than 1, and it's just not too great, so which is why we've swapped onto the Genji, which I also don't agree with.
Indeed, the High Noon comes through from Fallen Sleep, trying to find something. It does find Portos again, the first one to fall. And now we'll probably see, it's just a regroup here from the Russians. Overcommitment of ultimates again here for Germany, just using that Nano onto Skyhawk. Trying to clean up the fight, but I don't think it was necessary.
I mean, I still favor Russia, even though they've lost this, coming into this fight. They've got the Nano Blade, they've got the Shatter, they've got the Bob, and all you really have is the Grav, because you use Beat, you use Nano, and you weren't able to build that Shatter in time. I don't see any other outcome other than Russia.
Oh, the Grav onto the Blade is so good right now, preventing it from getting much value there as Bob comes through. Now trying to, disrupt, get some value, and that is a lot of value, I'm telling you. I mean, that's like 3 picks there for Zeagle. Just, this is what I mean. The Russians just, even when their ultimates get negated somehow, they just use more ultimates and win anyway.
Yeah, they know when to use their abilities, and they know what resources they have to use to pull out this fight win. It's gonna be hard to push into this. You don't really have, you're not close enough to the Blade. You've only really got Shatter. Your Diva's nearly dead. They got DMAC.
Arasari gets DMAC'd here, and Yaku as well. The slam comes Pushka, so gonna get taken out here, but it's not really gonna matter too much. Skyhawk doesn't really get a pin onto Portos there as he would like to. Now it's gonna be Kaijio trying to get onto the point. The High Noon comes around to Zeagle, so that's slowly turning this around with 1 or 2 picks here and there, but it just isn't enough. And now the Russians, they win. They actually win the entire series right then and there. Didn't even realize the stakes until I gasped, but I mean, there you go.
Russia win.
Are your Overwatch International Community Cup champions the entire season with relative ease.
Yep, and they only lose a map. They get a draw, but I think they only have dropped 2 map losses in the whole of the playoffs, which is insane to think. This is the payoffs, and you're only losing 2 maps.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, if you can count a draw, then it's 3. But like, I wouldn't count a draw, would I?
I wouldn't count a draw.
Yeah, I mean, that is just, it's such dominance. These guys are the shock of this tournament, I swear down. They were so good, just their DPS, the way they enable their DPS, their ultimate usage in fights where they probably shouldn't win, and they still win, despite them being down picks. It is just amazing. This Russia squad is so good, and I'm excited to see what they can bring to us. You know, whenever this tournament happens next, when's it happening next? Like next year?
I'm not too sure. Daz isn't here to... but yeah, Russia looking very strong. I hope they keep this squad. It's just they, as you said, it's like the shock. They all have that individual pop-off potential, but also the team play. They have it all, and that's what you need to be champions. And that's where they are.
Well, you're a Shock fan as well, aren't you?
I am a Shock fan.
Hey, let's go. I like we both refer to the Shock when we're good teams.
We don't talk Fusion trash. What?
Anyway, back to these teams. I mean, Germany, they put up a very good fight. You've got to admit, right?
They
were
did.
trying their best. Their DPS were popping occasionally. Like I felt like Portos was actually getting outplayed at the tank role a lot of the time. It was just the DPS and the ultimate usage from Russians to be able to just bring that back in fights where Portos was getting dominated.
With Russia, you could always just rely on the the Ashe player, whether it was Sloth or the name's gone from my head. Zeagle. There we are. Whether it was Sloth or it was Zeagle, you could always just to get the kills. We had a bit of a slow start for Russia. They lose that first control map. I was doubting whether they could pull it off. Then they made those changes necessary, and they just played it smart. And they pulled out a 3-1 win with a draw, 5 maps, and yeah, it's impressive. And
very impressive. I agree.
A great play.
I'm here eating food while we're like witnessing a freaking championship. Like, bro, what am I doing? But yeah, I completely agree with every point you made. I think that Russia just overall like well-rounded. Maybe the tank role was getting dominated a bit, like I said before, but overall they were just doing very good.
Yeah, totally. And I hope
Germany is also a very promising squad, right?
They do.
If they keep this for next year, they'll definitely be on the right track.
If they work on their team play, that's where it went a bit iffy. They do have the individual talent, but especially especially that tank role. If Porto's works a bit, this is going to be a monstrous squad coming into next season. I'm a bit scared to see what we could have, and also excited. And yeah, this is
well. Thank you all for watching this broadcast, brought to you by myself, Wisey, and Christian, aka KSA. Oh, I choked. Oh, I choked on food. Oh, that hurt. Okay. As I was saying, yeah, thank you all for watching. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for obviously being here, watching us cast, and being here for the entire season. And you know, we hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully you'll return back next season, as this has been a very nice finals and a very nice season overall. I've had fun.
I've had fun, and I also just like to extend one more thank you to Biobop, our observer and producer. This wouldn't be shown to you without him. He does all the observing for the game. He does all the cam. He does all the transitional changes, and you wouldn't be watching this if it wasn't for him. So I'd like to say thank you to Biobop and all the team behind Overwatch International Community Cup. And that's all I have to say for you guys today.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you all for watching. It's been me, Wisey, and Christian, KSA. We'll probably see you some other time. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.